This is a list you're going to use for a full year. Okay, so go down and get the list. So that's one way. You can look in the yellow pages under mailing list companies, and there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. The other thing that you can do is to use internet resources. Okay? Once again, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Write this down. Whenever you are testing a new list, send out 100 pieces to test that list, to find out what kind of response rate you're getting, how many bad addresses there are. Okay? One other point that I would like to raise, write this down. If a letter comes back to you and it's marked vacant or deceased, the post office just did your job for you. Okay? You follow up on those pronto. Okay? Just another idea for you. Now, when you begin working with me today, we have companies who will provide all of the lists for you for all of the direct mail campaigns, split out the way you need them, and no matter what part of the country you live in. I don't believe in making you reinvent the wheel, so that's what we are going to do. Now, there are some keys to your success or failure when you are doing direct mail or any kind of marketing. Number one, you want to target the right prospects, and we already talked about that. Number two, you want to get your envelope opened and read, and there are some little niches to that. And here's one of my favorite. One of the things that I use when I'm doing direct mail is I use lumpy mail to give that, to give the letter, ooh, what's in there? And one of the pieces of lumpy mail I really like to use is a flat pen. Because I've already got this response mechanism in my letter, now they have the pen in their hand to fill out the response. Pretty cool, yes? Come on, I'm thinking all the time. Number three, you have to make it easy for the seller to respond to you. Folks, I can't drive that home to you enough. And I'm going to give you a quick example. My mom is 83 years old. She lives down in Florida near us. And she lives in a wobbly box. But she loves it. She's got all her friends right there, and she really likes where she is. She's happy. But Mom calls me up one day, and she goes, Kathleen! She's the only person in the world that gets away with, Kathleen! Homeowners insurance canceled my policy. And I need a new insurance policy. And I know that, you deal with all of these because you got a whole bunch of houses. Give me the address, give me the information for some of your insurance companies. And so we did. We gave her the names, the companies and addresses and phone numbers and the whole 9 yards. Okay? What do you think she did? No, she needed insurance. What do you think she did? No. Nope. She didn't call him. What do you think she did? Who said it? Right there. She sat down and wrote all of them a letter. Why do you think she did that? No. Why do you think she did that? Bingo. That's the era she was brought up in. That's the way those folks do business because that's the era she was brought up in. Folks, you have to meet your sellers at their comfort level in order to create all of these deals. Does that make sense? Yes? All right. Number 4, you want to use a proven letter. You need to use a proven list. And you need to be very consistent with your marketing. Whether you're just sending out a few things or a lot of things, you need to be very consistent with what you're doing. Otherwise, your business is going to start to roller coaster. It's going to start doing like this. And you don't want to do that. So be very, very consistent. Number 7, follow up with semi-motivated sellers. I'm going to come back to this because it's a really important point. Take the time to follow up with semi-motivated sellers. Okay, these are folks who responded to your mailing, but not yet, not now. 60% of the deals we do in our business, 60% of the deals I do in our business come from the follow-up, folks. If you already got the list, and you already spent the money on the mailing, and you already had a seller contact you, why would you throw that lead in the trash can? Does that make sense? No, absolutely not. Believe me when I tell you that it's absolutely true that when a seller says, no, not today, are you out of your mind? What they really mean is, no, not today, but can you continue to follow up with me every 30 days until I change my mind? Okay? You will make tons of deals by doing this. We actually had a deal that we closed on about a year ago, Charlie. I still get